masters. Good day to you, partner. I'm Guy, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken cave.
Hey guys, Wheat Solo here, aka the Skeleton King. So this is a video I'm pretty excited to make, partly because this was kind of a group project. I provided the partial jubes, probably somebody had to cube them. Knife Wrench provided, I believe, the boots and the helm, and that is actually a great helm for this fight. I wouldn't call it BIS, but it's definitely awesome, and the core kind of makes it BIS, especially with 2 sockets. As you noticed, he kind of went for Jaws, some poison facets, just to cap out res, a bramble, so we obviously are missing out on other things like vexes, but kind of with the changes to not being able to overcap res basically over 90 now, you're just stuck there. And also the fact that Declone and Rathma are kind of inherently different than Declone. Like Declone, you really need to make sure you hit those max res points. While with Rathma, you definitely have a little more room to work. And that's kind of because there's 2 different sections where you need to worry about 3 elements total. You don't really need light res, but the Burning Souls can kill you, and there's Stygian Dulls, which kind of gives me an opportunity to talk about the bone armor change. The fact that bone armor is, I was always a big bone armor fan as a 1-point wonder or for declone and things. But now that you get a synergy with energy, it is very, very solid. I'm not going to do an in-depth guide about how to do this fight. I will talk about his gear a bit and about general mechanics. If you're looking for something for more in-depth, I would basically either look at our kills from last season, where we kind of talked about this a lot, or really what you should do is probably practice the fight in Pluggy. And of course, you can ask some questions to me or Topwug. I honestly don't know too much about this fight. What's happening right now are the Sanguine Golems is kind of a mechanic where when he hits certain breakpoints, he's going to spawn them, and if they touch him, they heal him. Now, you don't have to kill every single one. You can actually do the fight and not kill them all, but it's pretty awkward, and for any build, you really need to kill 3 generally. One of the interesting things I'm seeing about this fight is that he's actually running up to every single Sanguine to hit them, and you actually hear him hitting the Sanguine. Now that's a big deal, because if you remember from the Declone video, if you don't hear that sound of the dagger striking him in the heart, it's not going to get the pierce, and the pierce is going to help you do a lot more damage. What you just saw, where he kind of makes the poison creeper animation all over the ground, that's another mechanic in the fight. And basically, if you get hit by that poison, you're probably going to die, because you really need the antidotes, and you're not going to carry much. You could actually, I believe some builds can just face tank that now, but we're not a barb, so we're not going to do that. In the ad sections, you can refill your full jubes. It's not that big of a worry. One of the interesting things about these ad sections is, again, you can die. But bone armor just got really, really buffed. So although we're clearly worse than builds with, passives that dodge, or a board that has a ton of life, or a paladin that has a 1-frame block, we do get access to a pretty useful ability for this. Now, I wouldn't say it's even half as good as Cyclone Armor or Energy Shield, but honestly, bone armor is better than ever. Everybody, it's a 1-point wonder now for Necromancers. I'm never going to talk about it again. So now we're into Rathma, and the damage type is going to be fire mainly. He also casts magic damage, and then there's these Void Knights. The Void Knights are going to be doing, I believe, cold damage. And let's see how he handles this. He attacks one with a Poison Strike, and I believe it died from just 1 hit, if not 1 hit and 1 Desecrate. As you notice, the Golems, he actually did hit them all. I think you could probably do it quicker by casting Desecrate at points, but maybe not. His faster run walk is really low. I wonder if we could actually get some faster run walk on this build. By the way, his handling of that was pretty good. You can see the damage is actually pretty gnarly. So now he's going to cast Desecrates and actually hit a couple of Void Knights at the same time. One of the dangerous things about this fight is just like any section of this game, you can always be stuck in a moment where there's visual or latency desync. And it's just one of those things where you just got to get used to hearing the sound and moving. The Void Knights, you basically need to kill them as soon as possible. You can just focus the boss for a speed kill, but I really don't recommend that. And Topwig already told me that he doesn't think his play was that good in this video because he was trying to play fast. And I think one of the cool things about Poison Strike is I actually think it seems better for dealing with the Bone Prison than Desecrate was. Now, both Desecrate and Poison Strike have pretty awkward animations. But Poison Strike, since you can actually hit, and then if it hits, it doesn't wait for the poison cloud. The actual strike applies poison. You don't actually have to wait for that animation. And those animations of poison clouds are some of the worst animations the game has ever seen, trust me. Now, that was incredibly smooth. I'll go into his gear a little bit now, because the Void isn't really all that interesting. He's going to grab a few antis because he is going to have to deal with both bosses again. He's got a 3-socket shield. Those are clearly the best now. I do think there is a reason to run +1 skills, even if playing Poison. But basically, with the way Poison has been nerfed again, sockets were already more damage before. Clearly, they're more damage now. I really don't think there's much argument for +1 skill, unless you're really, really, really trying to push BIS. So he's got the Andy Helm with Jaws in them, just for a little more health. And the shield, he's got I think he had one facet, probably one more poison facet, just to help out. Bramble's just solid. Now, technically, Venom Ward is more damage, and is also great for this fight. But this is where I get to talk about the Andy Helm a bit. The Andy Helm is kind of taking care of our poison res. So although Venom Ward will be more damage, the Bramble is going to give us the faster hit recovery, which isn't too integral in a fight like this. It probably helps with the access more than anything. Okay. He just obliterated Mendeln, and I believe he skipped, and by the way, do you see the poison and he had to use antidotes? Exactly. I believe Mendeln only got one attack off. Wait, what is happening now? Now Mendel's like doing it again? Whoa! Holy shit, how did you not die? Okay, so like Mendeln got like phased like forcefully like a billion times, and then like he was like invincible. So he was like finishing his animations, which I guess was why Topwig was running around. Dude, I'm so confused about what happened right there. No, he's invincible if you like run too far off the stage or something. Dude, I actually don't know what happened, but Topwig said to watch out for him skipping phases. That was crazy. So, as you can see, Poison Strike does a lot of damage. Now, that is the most dangerous thing that can ever happen. Luckily, Poison Strike makes that better. So back to the gear choices. Max Res Core Trang's Belt is actually BIS. The attack rating cores are really going to help. As you notice, when he's attacking the bosses, he might miss. We don't really know the min-max of AR for Poison Strike yet, but there probably is a min-max. Right now, he's playing this actually pretty safely, I think because he's just trying to organize his belt. And now he's going to face tank with Uduars. It's not going to help too much, but just any revive is good, and they actually just do good damage anyways. He almost died again and again, but he kills him, and his damage blows my mind. Skeleton King out, guys. GG.
Come and play with us, Daddy.